Straight ahead on CCX News, development disappointment. After years of waiting for something to happen at a vacant Plymouth mall, the wait will be even longer. Plus, a garbage debate in New Hope, what the city is doing now after exploring changes to its collection system. And the evolution of the gym. We'll visit a fitness club in Robbinsdale that also includes several forms of alternative medicine. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The Four Seasons Mall in Plymouth will sit vacant a while longer.
Their plans for redevelopment have now fallen through. Eric Nelson joins us now with more. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, it is back to square one for Plymouth and Walmart, which owns the Four Seasons Mall, meaning this 8-year saga will continue to drag on. Rock Hill Management could not make the financial numbers work and is now no longer part of a project that was supposed to revive the mall with new business, including a couple of hotels.
It's frustrating for everybody. It's frustrating for the city staff, city council certainly. It's frustrating for the residents that are in the area. We get calls on a regular basis, what's up, what's going to happen. You know, everybody wants to see something happen. So absolutely, it's something we wish there was activity on right now.
The Four Seasons Mall is currently a ghost town with empty buildings and a pothole-scarred parking lot. This 17-acre chunk of property is valued at $8.9 million, but has been vacant since Walmart bought the site for $10.6 million in 2010. No one is sure how this will play out, but whoever redevelops the mall will deal with some challenges.
The issue is the soils are really poor, and the costs to build buildings on that property are going to be more expensive than most other sites within the surrounding area. So yeah, the soils are the biggest challenge and the biggest cost.
Now, despite this setback, Plymouth Community Development Director Steve Jutton remains optimistic. He says the market is still strong and that patience will ultimately produce the best project. Alex and Mike?
All right, thank you very much. Well, for months, New Hope City leaders debated whether to have an organized garbage collection system, meaning the city would approve contracts with only a certain number of haulers. Now that idea is being put on hold to research the issue further. Currently, the city has open garbage collection with 7 different haulers. The city wants to reduce that number down to 4 through attrition. And meanwhile, the city is sending out information to residents who want to start their own organized garbage collection within their neighborhoods. New Hope officials are also looking into single-sided garbage collection.
So the idea is that garbage trucks would only go down one side of the street to pick up all trash. So that would involve half of the neighborhood bringing their trash cans across the street and having them there for pickup day.
Staff will take results from their research back to the City Council sometime this summer. It's been nearly 3 years since medical marijuana in Minnesota became legalized.
And now local health officials are preparing for the possibility of lawmakers legalizing the drug for recreational use.
We know since legalization of medical marijuana passed, the next step is typically recreational marijuana, and that's what we've seen in other states. We want to make sure that those policymakers have science-based, factual data that they're using to make their decisions on.
Thursday, healthcare leaders, policymakers, and the law enforcement community made their way to Hazelden in Plymouth for a symposium on the impact of legalized marijuana. Attendees heard from experts who live in states where recreational marijuana is legal, including a former Colorado police sergeant.
We are on the road a lot, and I guess that's a good thing. People are asking questions, they want to hear good information, and that's what we provide them. Here's just the basis of information. You guys make your own decisions.
In Colorado, experts say that tax revenue generated from legalizing marijuana has been offset by the rising health care costs to treat marijuana-related health complications.
Brooklyn Park has reversed course on a trail project that was initially voted down. The City Council, in a 4-3 vote, decided to go ahead with construction of a trail on Brooklyn Boulevard that would connect with the Village Creek Park Trail. Construction would be done in 2 phases. The first part is 3/4 of a mile long. Council members who voted no had concerns about ripping up a sidewalk in good condition that some felt wasn't used all that much anyway. An argument for a paved trail is that it would be twice as wide, allowing bicyclists to pass through easily. Mayor Jeff Lundy voted yes, citing resident feedback for more trails, especially in the southern part of the city. Well, hitting the gym isn't just about getting in shape anymore.
A growing number of gyms are incorporating self-care into fitness. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains how a gym in Robbinsdale is ahead of this trend.
The building was vacant before we came in and put our love on it.
It's been almost 8 years since Lions Gym became a part of downtown Robbinsdale.
We think Robbinsdale is great. We want people to know that this is hopefully their community gym.
Leah Mena says mid-morning is a slow time at the gym. She owns the business with her husband, Dr. Stephen Mena.
We treat patients with a protocol where it involves exercise.
He became a chiropractor in 2014 and combined his medical knowledge with his exercise and personal training expertise to help people achieve their goals of wellness and mobility in a unique way.
We take him out to the floor and create exercises using our fitness experts to follow up, to correct that diagnosis.
More gyms are incorporating self-care into their offerings. Here you can receive services like chiropractic care, acupuncture, or massages, even if you aren't a gym member.
We welcome anyone to step in.
Their goal is to help people get fit and feel better. The Menyas picked a lion for their name because it is a symbol of faith and inspiration.
Everyone has that strength in there, but it has to be brought out. And the lion hopefully can do that for them.
Just to see how people of all different spectrums feel welcomed. And that's like Stephen and I's purpose, is to make people feel welcome in an environment where they're trying to get fit and healthy.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The gym recently added a ping pong table and says it has become a popular addition for members to meet up for games and tournaments.
On this Earth Week, third graders in Plymouth were treated to a friendly reminder about the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle.
So when you have your bike and you get too big for it, do you just throw it away? No.
Well, the Plymouth Forestry Department is making the rounds and talking with students about ways that they can protect the environment. Topics range from simple things like turning off the lights and bringing lunch in a reusable container to higher level topics such as composting and waste turning to energy.
I'm gonna use not a paper bag instead and get like a lunchbox.
These kids, if you don't reinforce why they're doing it and how it's impacting them and the environment, they'll never really think about it. But picking up, your dog, taking a bag with you when you walk your dog, to them is a chore. But when they can put it to, hey, this really makes a difference, that's why I'm doing it, not just because I'm being told to do it, then it becomes something ingrained and they'll just do it for the rest of their life.
Each student also got a special takeaway. They got a seedling to plant at home in honor of Arbor Day, which is coming up on Friday. Well, still ahead, how a Brooklyn Park Elementary School has moved away from the traditional classroom setting.
Plus, Maple Grove battles Centennial in a key early season softball matchup.
But first, sunshine and a high of 60 on Friday. An enhanced music program and a unique learning environment are some of the things that make Palmer Lake Elementary Schools stand out.
The reporter Sonia Goins has more in today's School Spotlight.
Palmer Lake Elementary is a community school with a different vibe from other learning environments.
We are at the end of the word.
The school is moving away from the traditional classroom setting. Palmer Lake has classrooms that feel and look like home.
We went into a model with more flexible learning spaces and flexible furnitures within the classroom.
In 2016, the school implemented a student-centered learning plan. That means students have a say when it comes to their curriculum.
So right now, as you walk around the room and see, they're kind of all at different spots so that they can work through and make their choices and speak as they'd like to throughout the time.
Palmer Lake is evolving into a science and technology school. They have an upgraded computer center. The school also partnered with Boston Scientific to create a science lab. The medical tech company provided the furniture, microscopes, goggles, and more.
Not most of these schools have science labs, so our science teachers, Miss Badgie, we do experiments and we make new stuff.
School officials say the innovative space is helping to improve state science test scores.
Before we move into the science lab, our test scores were probably like in the 20 percentile, but it has now increased to the 30 percentile.
The Robotics Club and Pride Mentoring Program give students leadership opportunities.
When there's new students, we do tours around the school so they feel welcomed. And leadership, it's like a little community.
Palmer Lake also has a music lab with instruments you don't typically see at an elementary school.
And then they're going to get to play around. They'll get to experience this.
A DJ turntable, electronic guitars, and keyboards are some of the things you'll find in the room.
They can actually play the piano.
Students also get the choice of having lunch in the music lab so they can practice their skills.
You know it can get hard sometimes.
A karaoke machine helps students to lift their voices. Teacher Dennis Luke says the expanded music program is encouraging students to embrace the gift of music.
By 5th grade, all of this will be something that they're used to and will be able to show me everything they know on those instruments.
Helping students to be all they can be is the model here at Palmer Lake Elementary.
And we are going to inspire and prepare all students to achieve their dream.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Still ahead, Shakespeare comedy makes its way to the stage at Cooper High School.
But first, the Maple Grove girls lacrosse team tries to continue a strong start, and we'll have highlights of their game coming up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The National Football League draft begins Thursday night with the first round. Sometime over the next couple of days, a Maple Grove man hopes to hear his name called. Jake Winicky is a 2013 Maple Grove High School graduate and a 4-time All-American wide receiver from South Dakota State. He's expected to be selected in one of the later rounds or perhaps signed after the draft as a rookie free agent. Either way, the 23-year-old Winicky is excited.
I mean, that's something that I've been dreaming about my whole life, and I always hoped to do it. But I guess just kind of throughout college, just kind of every year kind of became more of a reality and something that I could really do. And now just to be here is just such a blessing. I'm just trying to enjoy every second of it.
We'll hear more from Jake Winicky Friday on our CCX newscast starting at 4 p.m. The Maple Grove girls lacrosse team has played in the past 2 state tournaments. They are off to a strong start in the 2018 season as well. The Crimson at home to face Tutino Grace Wednesday. First half tied at 2. Grace Hansen to Emily Herdeen for the Crimson goal, and they take the lead. Then Chloe Corbin finds Katie Wheeler cutting the goal. She scores. It's 4-2 Grove. Herdeen spins away from the defender and scores on a nifty shot here. Crimson's up 7-3 at halftime. Second half, Herdeen muscles her way into the goal and scores early on for Maple Grove. And the scoring keeps coming. Herdeen to Corbin in front, and she gives the Crimson a 10-3 lead. Phoebe Bachmeyer races to the goal, lays in the low shot here. Maple Grove wins 16-5. They're now 3-0. They'll host Elk River Thursday night. The Maple Grove boys lacrosse team was undefeated until the Section 8 final last season when they lost to Wayzata. Crimson graduated much of that team, and they also have a new head coach. They started 0-2 on the season and looked to get into the win column when they hosted Tutino Grace in a game that was moved to Maple Grove because of their turf field. Maple Grove's Jaden Cruz working from behind the net sets up Drew Heisler in tight for the goal. Maple Grove's on the board less than 3 minutes in. A minute later, it's Heisler, a nice takeaway behind the net. He gets up and feeds Cruz for the goal. And it's 2-0 Crimson. Later in the first, Carter Morissette drops a well-timed pass to Riley Casibo. He goes low with the shot. It's 3-0 Crimson after a quarter. Grace plays a much better second quarter, and big Doug Kaiser buries the first of his 4 goals here. The Eagles within 3-1 at halftime. After Grace cuts it to 3-2, Maple Grove pulls away. Cruz to Casibo. He scores to make it 4-2 Maple Grove. And then with the Eagles a man down, they back off, and Jake Robleski whistles in a shot here for the Crimson as they start to build on their lead. Morissette will get a screen and score. Maple Grove scores 4 goals in a row on the way to a 10-5 victory over Tutino Grace. The Maple Grove softball team is coming off the program's 5th state tournament appearance in the past 6 years. Crimson took on another strong team from the Northwest Suburban Conference. The Maple Grove Dome still up with the Crimson varsity game field, ready to play against Centennial Wednesday. Crimson pitcher Ava Dewick keeps the Cougars' bats silent early. It's a strikeout here of Maddie Fiddler. The game scoreless through 3 innings. 4th inning, Centennial's center fielder Corinne Jacobson, a great grab in center field, robbing Maple Grove's Lauren Anderson of extra base hit, and that ends the inning. The Cougars will get on the scoreboard. Next time up, Crimson get it out at first base here on the ground up, but unless a Rooney scores from third, it's 1-0 Cougars. In the 6th, the Crimson break through with the bats. Ava Dewick at the plate, and she'll hit the hard ground ball the third baseman can't handle. Jade Tomashek races home. The game is tied at 1. They'll take the lead here. Centennials, Alyssa Montero throws a wild pitch. Amanda Tyler at the plate. It's Kate Kapsner sliding home with the run, and it's 2-1 Maple Grove. They later score another run on the wild pitch to lead it 3-1. Dewick then closes out the game, striking out the side, including Rooney to end the game. Maple Grove wins. They're now 5-0 on the season. That is it for sports. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Cooper High School's spring play begins a 3-day run tonight with Shakespeare's Twelfth Night.
Say that some lady, as perhaps there is.
A lot of the humor of my character can even be found in the fact that I am a woman trying to be a man who probably doesn't really know what she's doing.
Well, the story is a comedy of intertwined love interest, including a character who disguises herself as a man. The Cooper Theater version is set in 1920s Chicago.
Obviously, in the 1920s, no one would be speaking like this, but it still has like the aspects of the 1920s, we hope, but with this really funny story that Shakespeare created.
The 12th Night runs tonight through Saturday, 7 p.m. at Cooper High School.